Hey, everybody, welcome on back. So you got to try this podcast. It's with me, Large. Ian is in New York. I'm in Chicago for the past couple of days. We did the Chicago street race with NASCAR on the streets of Chicago, which was a shit show. But we have very special guests here. While I'm in Chicago, I think it maybe our newest hire, or maybe T-Bob's come in right behind you. Yeah. So one of the newest hires here at Barstool, I didn't know, a lifelong vegan, just clean living type guy. It's Mike Katic. Mike, how are you, my man?
I'm awesome. Excited to be here, man.
So I'm going to go through this episode for my audience, not knowing you at all.
Yeah.
Not knowing who the fuck Mike Katic is, why the fuck I invited him to be on the show, like the whole deal. I think that's probably the way that we should go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So before we get going, I do this thing every episode where I ask people, like and subscribe just like everybody else. And if you leave a question in a 5-star comment, I'll try to get to it. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's like a sneaky way to get the 5-star comments. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's something that we do here. And Ian was going through all our shit and he'd found some guy who sent in a comment with a 5-star review, and his name was Nate. And he said, Large, long-term stoolie, my wife has finally found a podcast she enjoys to listen to in the car as we voyage through Ireland and Scotland on our honeymoon. 2 things. She practiced the technique of sneezing and coughing on people who kept encroaching on our fucking space at a concert, which worked. Because I was talking about how, as a fellow big guy, in coach, when they decide to put the seat back, like I feel like I'm about to do dental work on these motherfuckers, right? So I tend to cough or do the stupid little thing with the air. I try to make them as uncomfortable. So his wife did this, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
And then the second part is, what's your biggest pet peeve about people or restaurants when you're out to dinner? Love the show. Keep up the good work and shout out Maine. So we put that as one of the ones. Oh yeah, maybe I'll answer that. Maybe I won't, because you get a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I think the same day we got one from a lady named Emma. Large, new to the show. And my husband is an OG fan. He has us listening on our honeymoon driving across Ireland and Scotland. They fucking double teamed me. This is a threesome. This is the first comment section threesome I've ever had.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking honored.
Yeah.
1, after listening to this episode about encroachment, I started coughing and sneezing on a guy getting too close to me at a concert. So thanks for that. And 2, what's your biggest pet peeve when you're out to dinner in a restaurant? I got fucking blindsided.
Wow.
Yeah, by Emma and her lovely husband, Nate. So that's cool.
Bitch.
Yeah. So they're in there. I appreciate it. Yeah. So it's a family affair. I thank you for writing in. We obviously, Ian and I appreciate that. And I will tell you, my biggest problem when I go out to restaurants is I'm at a different point in my life. So my guest here today, Mike, you're 24 years old. Are you married? No. Yeah. It's not one of those things. Nothing. Yeah. So you're not from the South. That's a diss on Southerners. I apologize. So, like, I'm 50 something, 53, and I have 3 kids, and my kids are 21, 18, and 15. So I'm out of the woods.
Yeah.
But even when we were very, very into just starting the relationship, just having kids, my wife and I were very fucking careful to make sure that when we left the restaurant with our kids, that we didn't make the place look like our kids had just been there. And then, so it's not easy to do, right? You're juggling it. And if we got to a point where like the kids are too wild to control the restaurant, we just wouldn't go. Yeah. Because I know that people go out for it. I can't fucking stand when people bring their kids in and it looks like a Rorschach test underneath. And I'm talking to you, Kate. Like, you know what I mean? Like that whole thing. And I'm just joking because I love Kate. I haven't seen her in a while. She looks wonderful. So if I had to have something that sticks in my craw a little bit, I hate when people don't fucking police their children at restaurants. Yeah. Is that a bitchy thing to be?
No, not at all.
Right? Does it sound a little cuntish or no?
No, that is completely, I get that, dude.
24 years old, you're sitting down trying to woo some young lady, some unsuspecting young lady who you're about to go back and maybe give a goodie bag to. We'll get to that in a second. And you sit down and across from you is a person with 3 kids. Can we request a high chair? They're going to do the buttered noodles and chicken fingers. Does it piss you off or is it just one of those things that you just have to get through?
I think what would piss me off the most is like I wouldn't be able to focus on my date.
Yeah.
I would be too focused on what the fuck is going on over there?
Right.
So like it would just be this thing. I'm just like back and forth, back and forth. So it's just like, I don't know. It's a weird balance that it would piss me off for sure.
Now, do you think those people who are sitting there with their 3 impressionable kids look over and see you fucking gnawing on a bone from a veal chop? I don't know if Ian's going to be able to splice that in, but I think it was Danny Conrad.
Yeah.
Who's one of my favorite people in the world. Danny's the nicest guy in the world. He was unfortunately out to eat with you the other day, and he had a veal chop. Mike Katic had a veal chop, and you would have to carbon date the fucking bone to know whether or not there was any meat on it at any point in the last century or so, because you're a fucking animal, right? So people who don't police their kids, the kids grow up to be Mike Katic. Yeah, so this is all coming first full circle.
Oh,
you got to try this. Mike, tell me about yourself. I know that you were a offensive lineman on the 6-year plan at the University of Indiana. You just came to join us a couple of months ago. Talk to me. Give me a little bit of background other than that.
Originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Grew up, normal childhood. Played baseball. Baseball was the number 1 sport up until high school. Got cut from tryouts because I'm a catcher. I forgot my fucking catcher's mitt. Cut immediately. There you go. Idiot. The coach is like, you're a fucking catcher and you forget your catcher's mitt? What the fuck is that? Cut. So I'm like, all right, football. Boom. In football, gained a bunch of weight from freshman to sophomore year. Started on varsity, sophomore, junior, senior. Got recruited. Some pretty big schools, nothing crazy, no SEC, couple Big Ten schools. Decided to commit to Indiana.
Why? What did Pitt come after you at all? I don't know. Like, Pitt what's the local lore with that?
It's so growing up, and this goes for everyone. Like your local school should. I'm not saying I got into a big thing on the dog walk about it, and Pitt came after me in the.
Oh, okay. Then I'm sorry. I don't mean to pick a scab.
I like this. No, Pitt just didn't recruit me until I was, a month before I committed to Indiana. As a hometown kid, you want to get recruited by Pitt. I would have loved to gone to Pitt. And then I kind of was treated pretty shitty by the coaches after I committed. So I was recruited by them. My good family friend, Tom Pulse, who played at Indiana, he was like, just go check it out. Because I was going to commit to Syracuse. Loved Syracuse.
Oh, really? Okay.
Loved it. And he was like, just go check out Indiana. I did, fell in love with it. Next day committed and had a great 6 years there.
Did you? Yeah, that's fantastic. And now when you see 6 years, obviously people are like, oh, the 6-year plan, but you also lined up well with COVID.
Exactly.
So you're one of those guys that had that COVID exemption and stuff. Did you ever get the opportunity to leave Indiana, or is it one of those things where you're like, no, I'm just going to be a Hoosier?
Yeah, no, I so redshirted in 2019, COVID 2020. So I had those 2 years.
Right.
And I could have transferred after my 5th year, I declared for the NFL draft, was doing the whole process, working out, looking for agents. And then Coach Sig, the new coach, called me, recruited me back for my 6th year. So I could have transferred out, but I was a captain in my 5th year. So I was like, it would be so shitty of me if I transferred after being a captain for the university. So I was like, I'm not leaving. Yeah.
What about that NIL money? Did you ever get to dip your toe on that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Year. Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything left for like an overweight bald blogger in that NIL pool? Anything I can do on a catering thing?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
excellent. You know what? I live in northern New Jersey, and very popular schools that the kids from Ridgewood High School went to in the past couple of years. Syracuse happened to be one of them.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends who are up there. Shout out Madison. Maddie's out there, and then we have Greg out in Indiana. Shout out, Greg. So Indiana and Syracuse have always been pretty popular in and around the Northeast. My son had bucked the system, went down to Alabama. Okay. And he's in his, he's going into his senior year. He still hasn't worn pants, right? Like I thought a guy who grows up in Pittsburgh or outside of, let's say Western Pennsylvania, right? Didn't you have the need to go fucking go south and get warm for a little while?
No.
Doesn't strike you coming out of high school?
No. I kind of like the seasons. I love fall weather.
Right.
And like when you're down south, like it's just fucking hot all the time.
Yeah.
Humid as shit. I love like when the summer turns to fall, it's like the best time. Football Everything about it. I like late in the season when, Southern teams have to come up north and play in the cold.
Yeah.
That's always good. So I never wanted to leave, the northern part of the country.
So let's talk about regional food then. Growing up in and around where you grew up, Primanti Brothers, was that a big thing for you?
Yeah.
I like Primanti Brothers. I don't love Primanti Brothers.
Fair.
Right. And I think that most people who live in Pittsburgh are like, that's not all we have.
Yeah.
But is there something in and around that area from where you grew up that jumps out at you as something that I have to try next time I'm in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of like homemade stuff. Like my grandma would make homemade pierogies.
Oh, fuck.
And pierogies are like my 1-2 probably all time foods. Like there's so much you can do.
Say nothing more. Say nothing more. Are you ever going to be in New York at any point? The New York office?
I'd hope so.
And
yeah.
I will take you for pierogi. I will wait until you come because I haven't gone there yet.
Please.
But what's the last name? Katic? What?
Croatian.
Yeah. There is a Ukrainian church that serves their pierogi and stuffed cabbage in the basement.
Oh.
So you grab like a tray and the whole deal. And I don't think that you're going to say, hey, Large, this is better than my grandmother's.
Yeah.
And, but I do think you'd be like, this is the type of shit that I'm about. Lower East Side, going to the basement of the fucking church, me and you, just two fucking big lugs. And I think we could destroy some of that type of shit, right?
Pierogies, sweated onions, and like some kibasi in the, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah. It's fucking, somebody had rolled out a fucking pierogi, made it to where it was almost a flat circle. Then they bent it over a sawhorse. I don't even give a fuck. They bent it over like a little mold, deep fried it. So it was that. And then they filled the pierogi taco shell with sauerkraut and kielbasa, right? With just a little bit of fucking mustard on top of it and a small stripe of sour cream. How the fuck can we be expected to live to 100 when that exists?
Boner,
yeah, exactly. I got a little bit of a food boner.
Holy
So
shit.
then you go from there. So like real men's or I don't know, like real hearty cooking.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go out to Indiana. Did anything knock your socks off? I just got back from Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And I went to school in Indiana also. I went to Notre Dame. So we sort of had the same.
Yeah.
I'm a pork tenderloin guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love those fucking things. We just did, what the Plump's Last Shot was the place that I went to for it in Bloomington. Excuse me, in Indianapolis. You're in Bloomington.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Then I did that hot cocktail sauce at St. Elmo. St. Elmo. And I love horseradish.
Yeah.
So it was perfect for me. I can understand some people don't like it. And some people are like shitting on the steaks there and all that. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's an elite, one-of-a-kind type experience that you get there. Is there anything from college that you thought was just the fucking greatest thing? Because you didn't go far.
Yeah.
Like going from Brooklyn to Indiana, I was like, oh, there's different cuisines out here, but you drove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, there was nothing that really like was like, holy shit, every time I go back, I needed. But there were some things like on campus, like certain restaurants, like this place called Fat Dan's in Bloomington, my favorite restaurant on campus. They have these like hangover burgers, you know, that just like fill you up and they're just unbelievable. So there was a wake and bake burger there that every time I go back, I'm like, I want to go to Fat Dan's and get a wake and bake. But other than that, like I like the pork tenderloins, but it's nothing that I'm like, holy shit. Like,
right. Don't blow you.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a huge culture change from Pittsburgh to Bloomington, but like, I don't know, there wasn't anything that really, really blew me away.
What about burritos? How do you feel about burritos?
Love burritos.
All right, so I'm going to have you make a choice. This is going to be Sophie's choice. Have you been to a Benihana restaurant, a hibachi?
No.
So they do that thing where they kind of chop it all up in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, they flip the fucking shrimp tail into your mouth.
Yeah.
They essentially make fried rice, noodles, like a lo mein dish.
Well, I've been to hibachi. I just haven't been to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you've been to hibachi.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So hibachi style cooking you've been to a bunch of times.
Yes.
I was very unimpressed when you said you hadn't been to Benihana. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to have to move this back a little bit. Yeah. I was going to expand. So this place called China, and then I was going to go through the whole fucking thing. So Benihana is now putting that whole fucking meal into a burrito.
Oh, fuck.
No, stop. Right? So like that's one of the things that's happening.
Yeah.
And to me, you know, they give you those two ashtrays with the sauce.
Yeah.
One's mustard, one's like something.
Yeah.
I love both those ashtrays. So a little bit of both ashtray sauces in, and the shrimp because you get a little shrimp appetizer, the noodles, the rice, the whatever the fucking vegetables, and then whatever your protein is. They're putting that in a thing. Okay, so that's your one burrito. The second burrito, have you been to Bojangles? Fried chicken?
Maybe once.
I think it's good. I think, and people are like, well, you got to go to Bojangles down south. It's a little bit different, all that stuff. But Spider and I had it at one of the tracks. We'd both never tried Bojangles, and we just had a very good experience with it. So Bojangles does a breakfast burrito, and breakfast burritos in general don't offer me much differentiation unless you go to like a different culture. Like, I'm going to do a Filipino breakfast burrito. Bojangles decided that they were going to do one that's kind of just American cuisine. So their breakfast burrito is sausage patty, egg, hash brown, cheese, and sausage gravy in there, which I've never seen inside of a burrito before. Like sausage gravy, that white flour fucking roux with the milk, the sausage, heavy black pepper that everybody knows and loves, has it over biscuits and stuff. So now I'm going to put a gun to your head. I'm going to put a gun to your head a couple of times during this thing. And you have to do one. Are you doing a Bojangles sausage, egg, cheese, hash brown, and sausage gravy burrito? Or are you going to do the Benihana, right? And in the vacuum, you only get to try one. Are you going to go Bojangles, or are you going to be a bad American? What's going to be your opinion on that? Yeah.
If you would have said a regular breakfast burrito with no way, with no sausage gravy, I would have said
fucking hibachi. No way. Yeah.
You put that in there. What kind of hash brown?
I think,
was it shredded?
So
or was
I've never been to Bojangles for breakfast, but I believe that their hash browns, and someone will fucking correct you as you know with the internet. I think they kind of do them in those triangles, sort of like the McDonald's ones.
Yep.
So, which I don't mind.
Yeah, no.
Because those at least are crispy on the outside. 100%. You're not going to get limp fucking shredded
100%,
potatoes.
100%.
So whatever your best hash brown in your mind is, we'll give Bojangles the Bojangles. I think 100%. Right. 100%. I don't know why.
I'm a slut for a good breakfast burrito.
Is it
just the sausage fucking gravy? Oh,
right? Makes me want to punch my wife. 100%. And I don't know why. She didn't do anything.
If I did have a wife, I would punch her.
You can punch mine.
All right.
Yeah, cool. I don't give a shit. She's all down for it. Since I just had my first fucking threesome in the comment section, she probably could use a little bit of a slap. All right, so then that's your Sophie's choice. I'm wondering whether or not, who do you think picks the burrito who do you think picks the Benihana burrito in this office with the characters that you're getting to know here?
Yeah.
Which person picks the Benihana burrito?
I think, oh shit. I was going to say Liam Blutman, but he likes his breakfast, but he also loves that.
He's an enigma wrapped in a riddle.
100%.
Could do anything. I love the guy, and he's very, very talented.
Yeah.
And committed.
Yeah. I
watched him sit on a fucking couch or something for like 26 hours. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think Big Cat likes his breakfast burritos.
Probably.
Damn, this is hard.
I think it's Za. I think Za says, you know what? Because he's got the most international flair. I think there's something where Za's like, fuck it, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got an appreciation for the Southern classics. And I'm going to have Za on at some point. He's one of my favorite people in the fucking world. It's Za. Bad guy, bad American.
Tate.
100%
is taking the Benihana burrito. 100%.
I'm going to ask him the same question. I'm going to ask Tate the same question. Benihana burrito versus the thing, and we'll see what he comes up with. Yeah. You know what? So typically on You Gotta Try This, I'll either bring in somebody from the food world that I kind of know. I've had Stratus Morphican on, Chef Greeny. We're going to have Chef Mike Ferraro on. People that, deserve to be talking about food at a very high level that I can learn from. And then the other side of it is I bring on people I'm very close to, like just friends of mine, sometimes within the industry, sometimes within Barstool or beyond. And then I bring in people that I work with and I try to attack them from a different angle.
Yeah.
So when I had Frank the Tank on, I didn't mention anything that would make him chew on his thing or break his glasses. And people were like, wow, that's a different way to look at Frank the Tank, which is very, very gentlemanly in the whole deal. I had Rico on and did nothing to trigger Rico. And I got to be honest with you, one of the more pleasant conversations I've had with anybody.
That's awesome.
And he and I grew up very close to each other, even though I'm much older. And I worked with his dad on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So now I think his dad's going to come on the show.
Awesome.
With you, since we don't know each other at all, I don't think that you play a narrative here
No.
It's just Mike Katic.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this is probably a different way for people to get to know you.
Yeah.
Just because it's fucking, don't you feel like it's the easiest thing in the world to say, yeah, I'll talk about food for an hour?
100%.
Right.
I'm a fat fuck.
Okay.
I am. I mean, I have to be for my sport I played, and I haven't lost a goddamn pound yet.
Right.
Working here is tough. It's hard to lose weight.
It's tough.
So I love food. I love every single, I think I won't not eat any food. Maybe raw tomatoes. That's it.
Oh, really?
That's it.
So you're not a tomato guy.
I'll eat them on a sandwich or on a salad, but
I'll get to all that shit. You're 24. How tall are you?
6'3".
6'3". How much you weigh?
318.
318. And then how much was your heaviest?
Oh, this is a good food story.
Well, go, please.
So freshman year, because I was eating at the dining halls. I didn't really have, our nutritionist was with us, but our freshman year, they told us to put on weight, and we had unlimited money at these damn dining halls. So we'd go and eat some shit, man, whatever you want. So during the season that year, my freshman year, I was hanging around 320, 325. We're fortunate enough to make a bowl game down in Jacksonville, the Tax Slayer Bowl against Tennessee. And so we're there for the whole week. So we get there on a Sunday, we play on Saturday. So like on Tuesday night, there was this huge seafood surf and turf fiesta, dude. I'm talking whatever you can think of. I mean, I think I had probably 6 or 7 plates of I was a slut for the peel and eat shrimp.
Yeah.
And that's going to be in my later on.
Okay.
I weighed in before. I was 324, weighed in the morning. And if you weigh in the mornings,
you're lightest. Lighter. Yeah.
335 in the morning.
Wow. That's an 11. That's not good.
My strength coach looked at me and almost threw up in his
Really?
mouth. He was so appalled. I looked at the scale and I was like, oh my God. And I wasn't playing. Like, it was my freshman year. I redshirted and my friends were just ripped. They were like, dude, you gained 11 pounds.
That's fucking tough.
From a surf and turf seafood buffet. I was like, dude, I couldn't stop eating the peel and eat shrimp. And crab leg. Oh, geez,
yeah,
man. It was bad.
I hear a lot of people who gain or lose 11 pounds, but normally it's they're having a kid, right? You know what I mean? Like you pop out an 8-pound kid, maybe a little bit after birth, and then you're down that much.
Yeah.
Putting up 11 pounds in a day is going to come back to you at some point. Let's say Mike Katic was destined to live to 101. Yeah. It's probably 100 now. Like, you know what I mean? Just that 1 week. And I don't think people realize just how much they take care of you on bowl weeks.
Oh.
For Division I athletes, I used to see it way back in the day. Yeah. I graduated in 93.
Yeah.
Like you'd get the big bag with all the swagoo in it, and it was fucking awesome.
Unbelievable.
So it was easy to get spoiled as a college athlete from a food perspective, right?
Oh my God, every day. Because when you go to these bowl games, you get a stipend every day.
Uh-huh.
So you get a check and you could spend it, food, whatever. And so, you'd wake up, you'd practice. You wake up, breakfast that the team provides, practice,
right?
Usually a post practice meal, and then you're off for the rest of the day. So you and the boys are going to, on the resort, we're going to different restaurants, dinner. We're having these huge dinners with the team, dessert. We go out and have ice. I mean, it's crazy how much you eat, not only during bowl weeks, but the whole season. Because you're like, how I would describe a season, like I can eat whatever I want every single day.
Right.
Like I could have burritos, 2 large pizzas for dinner, ice cream, because I wake up the next day and I lose 10 pounds worth of sweat.
Right.
And then I have to refuel and hydrate. So that's my favorite part of the season is just eating whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
You turn into a little fat fuck, but like I did, but it's awesome.
But there's 2. So I'm friendly with a couple of offensive linemen, Willie Colon, who I hosted a radio show with for a long time. And then Nick Mangold, who's just an old buddy of mine. He actually was on the show. Willie's coming on in a couple of weeks. And they always tell me that offensive linemen go one of 2 ways. They either lose weight afterwards. This is a flex. I belonged to a lake club for a while, and there was a lineman named Chris Snee. He was on the Giants for a long time. And he got fucking ripped to shreds. Yeah. Like looked great afterwards. Yeah. And so Willie would say, it's either going to go that direction or one where you have to be airlifted out of your house after you die. Like, you know, you have to be forklifted out of there because you get into this fucking rut, which is what it is.
Yeah.
And then you bring yourself out of the rut by doing this, you know, intense training every day.
Yeah.
So now that you're not going to do any intense training any day, are you going to jump on some sort of health fucking kick?
I'm trying. I'm trying. I tell myself I'm going to do it. I tell myself it's so hard because like I tell everyone that they're like, are you still working out? I'm like, yeah, here and there. But like all my life, I've been forced to work out. Like it was a mandatory thing. And now that it's not mandatory and I can do whatever the fuck I want, like I don't have that drive to like go in and work out on my own and have that. And some people may call that soft, weak mindset, but like it's just years and years and years of like blowing whistles, telling you to do this shit, do that shit. And now no one's breathing down my neck. And it's kind of nice to just like relax. And yeah, I'll work out. I'll walk, I'll jog, but like, it's nice not, and I've tried and I'm trying to eat better, eat cleaner, but then, you know, you introduce the beers, you introduce that shit.
How's your booze game?
It's up there.
Is it?
It's still, cause you know, we'd have these O-line case races and I would drink against other O-linemen.
Which is dangerous.
So you just build this tolerance for beer. And I mean, it takes me a lot of beers to even feel anything now. It's because I'm so used to drinking. Now I'm drinking with like guys like Nicky Smokes who can drink, but other guys who drink 4, 5, 6 beers and they're buzzing. I'm like, dude, I need another 8. I need another 8,
kind of
9.
Fucking, it's adorable.
Yeah.
And I could tell you too, like first time I drank with Willie, we went out for martinis and I'm a martini guy. And so he threw the first one down and his gullet didn't move. Like it was like taking a martini and throw it into a trash can. It was that fucking easy. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, I'm in trouble. So he went, and you know, with martinis, there's a rule of thumb: 1 martini, 2 martini, 3 martini floor. Like that's what they call it. Or they say martinis are like tits. 2's not enough, but 3's too many. Like that type of thing in general. Yeah. So I'm like a 2-3 guy if I'm drinking vodka. I'm a 1-2 guy if I'm drinking gin. Okay. That night I had 5 vodka martinis, which again, isn't that fucking big of a deal. Willie had 9. And then, you know, we walked to the Christmas party and then we drank all night. We walked to the Christmas party. It looked like we swam there because we sweat like fucking whores in church. But it's just, I don't think people recognize it as much. And I didn't think about it when I invited you to come on. By the way, I'm very, very happy you did come on. Yes. Drinking with offensive linemen is one of the things that I would not recommend for the fucking week.
No. Oof. And going back to the martini thing is, you know, when you were talking about me gnawing on that bone at dinner with Danny, I had 10 espresso martinis.
You had 10 espresso fucking martinis. That's what I'm saying. You're built different.
And then that like, and then they were like, people were like looking at me like I had 4 heads, which I agree with. But then I go back and that's normal when I'm drinking with my boys. Like, and then I have another 2 double vodka sodas before we leave the restaurant. Right. And then we go out and drink after. I'm like, I'm moving. I'm good. Yes. But these people are like, how are you standing? I'm like, you guys, I've trained my 6 years at Indiana with offensive linemen to be able to do this.
I'm a weapon at this point. And I did see the clip. Ian was sent it to me right before we came on. And I think it was Tommy Smokes. Who just happens to be a mere mortal. You know what I mean? And then Nicky Smokes was at the table too. Again, another just mere mortal. I'm sure those guys do very well for their own body types. Tommy could just absolutely put anyone under the table who looks like Tommy. But you just can't fucking like the case race is adorable to offensive linemen. They're like, case race, that's a Tuesday, right? And I don't know, there's something genetic about it. You can't be an offensive lineman, and this may not be as profound as I want it to be, unless you're a fucking animal.
100%.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you have to have a different fucking mindset. And like, I was telling Eddie on the dog walk, like I was so pumped to finish a game on Saturdays so that I could go drink 30 beers with my boys and my parents after a game at the RV. And like, there's just something about getting your boys who also drink to your level all together and put away 6 cases of beer just on a casual post. That's after we played a whole game. I'm not trying to like act like flex like my drinking ability. Cause like, you know,
no, it's like, just a fact. And I think we take advantage of it here at Barstool. Like Dan knows enough because Dan is not a huge drinker. Like Dan can hold his own. But he knows that having these guys get fucking shithouse when they bring in the fucking big boys too, it's fun to watch.
It is.
It's like a thing. So when you first got in there, to college, right? Is it one of those things where you were just fed a lot of fucking mediocre food? Like they were just bulking you up on the bread basket before? Yeah. Okay.
Pizzas at night, like you'd eat dinner. Like my first week I got there, they took me so McDonald's breakfast every single morning.
Really?
Lunch we'd go out. Dinner we'd go out, and then they'd bring us a Domino's pizza at night. So it's like, I gained 15 pounds in my first week. Just off shit.
Yeah.
And then, you get behind the 8 ball on your body composition and you're doing all these body fat percentages and you're just like, holy shit, I'm like 35% body fat. Holy fuck. And then once you get older and you mature and you start eating better, leaner food, then your body fat goes down. You start looking better, feeling better. So I think everyone goes through that adjustment period freshman year. Yeah. Everyone bulks up, gets bad fat. And then they start leaning out once they get more mature in their eating and their nutrition.
You're doing we're pivoting now. You're doing the Jersey Shore House this year, right?
Yes.
It seems like a good group of guys, right? It should be a lot of fun. Yeah. When's that start?
That starts the second weekend of August.
Okay, so this will definitely have dropped before that goes. So I'm glad that this is, kind of has a little bit of an evergreen feeling to it. How do you feel going into the Jersey Shore House? Who are you looking most forward to spending some time with? What do you think? Have you ever been to Jersey Shore?
No, I've been like the Ocean City, New Jersey, but it's nothing. It's a different beast than
right.
What I've heard from Rico and Cons and things like that.
I like the crew that you're going to be with.
Yeah, 100%.
It seems like a good crew. I think I'm going to come down and cook dinner for you guys one night.
That would be fucking awesome.
Don't you think that would be kind of a nice little crossover?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No matter who is down there, one of the young ladies out here, brunette girl, Annika, I believe her name is.
Annika, yeah.
Yeah, Annika's tall, brunette. And then the other girl, is Hannah down there too?
No, Hannah's not down there. It's Ella in this office.
Ella, yes, Ella. Okay. And I mentioned to a couple of them, they were like, great. Like, because I have a beach house that's probably about 10 or 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about just doing a Sunday sauce, coming down when you guys
leave Sunday.
You leave Sunday what time?
So we go in Thursday, leave Sunday. Probably morning.
Probably morning. Okay, so I'll have to plan around that. But I think if you guys come downstairs or whatever the fuck, and you're all hung to the gills, and I'm just there fucking.
I would be the happiest man alive.
Just big bowls of fucking bucatini and do like some braciole and shit. Like, wouldn't that be kind of nice?
I would go insane.
Yeah, some crispy fucking Italian bread and a big jug of cheap red.
Yeah.
Put it on fucking ice like gentlemen, and then I'll just leave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to put up with any of you fucking assholes, myself included. Yeah. And then we just fucking go our separate way.
That would be a pleasure, man.
Yeah. And even though, like, I don't think traditionally a big plate of pasta is synonymous with, being out on the beach. Yeah. But who the fuck wouldn't eat it?
I would destroy it. I'll tell you that.
So I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Ian had a bunch of stuff. Meals for noon games versus night games. Was that different for you guys?
So yes, I will say that. So noon games, we'd wake up early and we'd have one meal before we left for the game. So I would always do a huge bagel sandwich, like a lot, like, because you could make your own. It's not like made to order. You can make your own. So I make this huge bagel sandwich, bacon, eggs, cheese, cream cheese, and then I would put either another carb.
By the way, he just said he did a bacon, egg, and cheese with cream. So bacon, egg, and American cheese,
always
with cream cheese,
always
on it. So the only person that I know who does an egg sandwich with cream cheese is you. And I do it all the time. Yeah, I very rarely see people go eggs, cream cheese, regular cheese, and then bacon or sausage. I'm more of a sausage guy than, that's a fucking nuance. And a little bit of hot sauce.
That. Yeah.
But so go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I'll add another carb. I'll either do a big thing of mashed potatoes, or I'll do a big thing of angel hair pasta with meat sauce. Because you have to carb up on game day right before you work out or do anything like that. And then for night games, it's wake up, breakfast. So I'll do the same breakfast, but then you have another meal, which is the pregame meal. You do lunch, a little lunch, and then you have about 3:00, you do a bigger pregame meal, which I'll do the spaghetti with meat sauce, rolls, and then I'll do a protein, usually 2 pieces of chicken, something like that.
Right.
And then post game, it's pretty much just beer and tailgate food.
Right. You bourbon guy?
Yeah. So my dad's a huge bourbon guy. and he turned me onto it. So I'm expanding my palate, trying to. So every time I'll get 5 bottles, all different, and then once I finish those, I'll go get 5 different bottles.
How long is that before you finish 5 bottles of bourbon?
It's not as long as you
okay,
think.
right. So you go through it. But you're starting to put in a little bit of a collection almost then.
Yes.
As a bourbon guy.
Yes.
So you're probably going to be drink bourbon for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, beer, I love, one of my favorite things is going out to a nicer dinner with your friends or family, having really good cocktails. I love an old fashioned or a Manhattan, and having great meal, drinking I'd rather do that sometimes than go out with my friends. Like I'd rather sit down, have great cocktails, great food. And so I love having cocktails like that. Beers for me are like a day thing. Like if I'm drinking all day, I'll have beers, pace myself all day. Like the Indy 500 I went to, pace myself 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day, beers. But I like a bourbon nightcap as well. I'll come back from the bar, have a bourbon nightcap, things like that. That's kind of
you
like
fruity drink guy?
No.
So a nice little bourbon rocks or neat?
Rocks.
Okay. And your dad, how deep does he go? Your dad's still with us, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So your dad, how deep does he go? Is he a pappy guy? Like where does he go on that?
So he loves Basil Hayden. That's his baby. So every time I, like in Indiana, Southern Indiana, there's some bourbon distilleries. So every time I go down, he loves the Southern Indiana. I'll get him some Starlight Distillery. That's big down there. I'll get him those, but he loves his Basil Hayden. I love Basil Hayden as well. It's really smooth, lighter, but I haven't gotten into the really expensive stuff yet because I don't know what I like yet. Yeah. Like so I like the more cheaper stuff. Maybe I'll go to like $120 bottle, things like that, but I haven't experienced the Pappy yet.
Now, as a 24-year-old kid who has a palate for bourbon because your dad, and because you liked it, you can't fake a palate for it. No. What do you feel about wine? Like, is it one of those things that, because at 24, that's where I started drinking some wine too.
Like I've never been wine drunk.
Okay.
I've never gotten a buzz off wine because I just like, if I sit down, I went recently with a friend to a nicer Italian dinner, and we shared a single bottle of wine, and like that's just not ever gonna do it for me. Like I need probably 2, 3, 4 bottles of wine 2 bottles of wine to feel something.
Right.
And so every time I'm drinking wine, I don't even feel it because like I'm usually splitting it with someone or something like that. I don't mind. I like a lighter wine more than red. But if I'm eating like a hearty steak dinner, I'll have a red wine. I'm very early in my wine.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
I mean, you got plenty of time too, right? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sex for a second. So there was a thing that went around about this guy. Every time he banged a girl out or something, and I'm kind of paraphrasing because I really don't want all the fucking details.
Yeah.
On the way out, he'd tell the girl, by the way, grab yourself a goodie bag. And near his front door, he'd have a Ziploc bag. And inside the Ziploc bag was a plain sandwich on like white bread. It looked like one of those prison sandwiches. Like, I don't know if you've been to prison, but it's a slice of American cheese, slice of bologna, that type of thing. Didn't look very nice. Next to that was a Lipton iced tea. Like in the bag, couldn't have been cold, right? Like, so it's a Lipton iced tea.
Yeah.
There was 2 $20 bills touching the white bread, which we know is not the best thing in the world. There was a nugget, like there was some weed in there and a package of backwoods.
Yeah.
And maybe like a breath mint or something like that. That's not very important. And it said, thanks for everything, whatever, Bob. So let's role play for a second.
Yeah.
I'm a beautiful young lady, full consent, and I just get my back blown out by Mike Katic. Don't clip that. Right? So you give me the time of my life. It's time for me to go home. I ask you to get me an Uber. You say no. And you say, but on the way out, Largina, grab yourself a goodie bag. What is the Mike Katic post-sex goodie bag for some yucky? That's a Freudian slip. Some lucky young lady who just got it from you.
So I'm going to go off. It's a little bit of my passions as well after sex.
Might as well.
So I'm going to throw in a can of nicotine pouches.
Okay. Lucy's.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do Lucy's. Yes, yeah.
Singular cigarette, singular match.
Singular dart with one match.
Yep.
Understood.
So
you got to know what you're doing.
So they can throw in the Lucy's while smoking the cig
Nice.
for an ultimate buzz post-sex.
So perfect.
And I'm going to throw in, maybe, I'll throw in a warm beer.
A warm beer.
Warm beer.
Right? Yeah.
Because I don't want to put everything in the fridge. I want to have one bag with everything in it.
Right.
So beer, one solo cigarette, one match, Lucy nicotine pouches, and I'll go, after maybe a cold, this
isn't an easy question.
No, a day old pepperoni piece of pizza.
Really?
Yep.
So not a ton of respect.
No.
Necessarily.
No.
I like
depends on the girl though. If I really like her, maybe I'll throw in, I don't know, something else.
I think like Derek Jeter used to leave them maybe like a Rolex.
No.
Like Huey Lewis used to just give them, I don't know. I'm trying to run the gamut here. So if you just got through getting your cheeks clapped by Mike Katic, I think that's what the kids are calling it nowadays, you can expect on your way out a warm beer. You don't have to drink it then. You can go home, put it in the fridge, and then reminisce. A loose cigarette, which we call Lucy's on the street, that you have to get going with the one match because that blows out. God forbid it's windy and you live in Chicago.
Maybe if I like the girl, two matches. Just in case
two.
The one
but because you're a gentleman.
Yeah.
So then you got the Lucy, you pop in a Lucy with the flavor crystal or whatever. Perfect. And then maybe a day old fucking slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And on the bag, what do you write? Apologies in advance.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
I hope you did.
I'll call you maybe.
Okay, there it is. That's the Mike Katic. Mike Katic. Do people call you Katic a lot?
Yeah. When I first started here, everyone called me that. But then I just, they got it now. But.
You have to put exactly 5 toppings on a slice of pizza. Yep. I had mentioned this to you beforehand.
I got it.
So it's one of those ones where I don't, and I've never asked this question before. I just seen it the other day. I think it's an interesting one. If I sit down and I order a pizza, I normally order it maybe 1 or 2 toppings. Predominantly, I order it plain. But I think that you can get to 4 toppings easy. I think 6 is almost too much structurally. Mm-hmm. So I'm challenging people who sit in this seat to give me a slice of pizza with 5 toppings on it. So sauce and cheese are not toppings. Grated Parmesan cheese or crushed red pepper, those are seasoning. They're not top. It would be like you saying putting kosher salt and black pepper on it or something. So knowing that, but other condiments can be, particularly like liquid condiments. So I'm going to say like a Mike's Hot Honey or something like that.
That's where I was going.
All right. So this is the definitive Katic 5-topping pizza. Give it to me and I'm going to tell you whether or not it's going to be edible.
Okay. I'm going those little pepperonis that curl up and
the cups.
Collect. Yep.
Yeah. And then you get the pork grease inside of them. Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
I'm going to go sausage. I'm not going to go the big balls. I'm going to go in the little tiny things of sausage. You know what I'm saying?
Crumbles.
The crumbles.
Okay. So we're decasing an Italian sausage and we're going to be crumbling it on there. Okay.
I'm going mushroom.
It's not easy. It's because you're thinking now mushrooms tend to release a little bit of moisture. Mm-hmm. So then you're going to be getting a little bit of sogginess. You got the oil from the pepperoni.
Yeah.
It's going to be on a plain Neapolitan slice.
Yeah.
Not the structure of a Sicilian.
I'm going to stick with mushroom because I love mushroom. I'm going to go green pepper, Mike's Hot Honey drizzle. So
that's it. Mike's Hot Honey, green pepper and mushroom, sausage and pepperoni. Yeah. I think that holds together and I think that would be delightful.
Yeah.
You want to know mine?
Yep.
I'm not telling you. I would do the same thing with you. Sausage, but out of the casing because I like that. A little more rustic.
Yeah.
On top of that, I like hot cherry peppers. I like a hot cherry pepper on there. So sliced hot pickled cherry peppers.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. And then once it comes out of the, black olives. A lot of people don't like black olives. I was
thinking about going there. I love olives.
And I'll take olives over mushrooms any day.
Okay.
I like a raw mushroom. I like a black olive. Or green olives too. Like if it was even sliced green olives, I can even do too. Then once it comes out of the oven, just a handful of arugula and a drizzle of hot honey.
Okay.
I think that makes it like you ran it through the garden a little bit, and that to me is absolutely delicious.
Okay.
Let's get to know you just a little bit more. How do you take your eggs?
So if I'm eating them just on a plate with over top of some hash browns or a scramble, over easy. If I'm on a sandwich, I like them over medium, over hard.
Okay.
So a little bit of gooiness, but I don't want it to be super sloppy on the sandwich.
You mentioned something before, which I think made us brothers, with the whole cream cheese on an egg sandwich on a bagel. I just read something recently where somebody, a famous chef, I can't remember which one it was, Chef Jonathan Sawyer, says sandwiches on bagels are the worst. I was ready to go to mattresses with that because I love a bagel sandwich, a breakfast sandwich.
Yes.
But I got to be honest, the more that I look into it, outside of breakfast, to have like an Italian bomber on a bagel, it doesn't work, right? Are we? This guy is speaking the truth.
Yes. And growing up, my mom would make me a lot of cold cut sandwiches on a bagel, which I liked, but it doesn't even come close to a breakfast sandwich on a bagel. So like, if he's talking about breakfast, bacon, egg, sausage, egg, and cheese, 100% all day. Yes.
All day on a bagel.
Cold cuts, anything like that, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Meatball parm.
No.
Chicken parm.
I'm good on
a fried chicken sandwich on a bit. Like these things that are traditionally, I'm not saying that a meatball, if you canoed out the bagel and you put like a bunch of smaller meatballs in there, I'm not saying that it would be bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you or I would turn it away.
Yeah.
But from the traditional vehicle, if you replace it with a bagel instead of a hoagie roll, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But for me, let's just say Italian bread.
Yeah.
I think 9 times out of 10, especially an Italian sandwich or a cold cut sandwich, to your point, kind of does a slide thing.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're fucking
100. If you put, because like you said, the slide thing, I would put, mayonnaise and mustard on the sandwich all over the fucking place. You take one bite, it all fucks out the side.
Yeah, and a fucking tomato shoots out and hits your mother in the eye, and then who wins?
Good on that.
And I will tell you too, same thing. If you give me a hot biscuit, butter biscuit, fucking honey butter, or you put sausage gravy on top of it, I would kiss you on the mouth.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Get away from me with biscuit sandwiches now. And I'm including breakfast sandwiches for that. I think biscuits, I'm hungry. Are a standalone fucking monster and one that I love, but I don't think they belong on sandwiches anymore.
I agree.
Okay, so it's not a hot take.
No.
I wonder if it's going to be a hot take for some. I wonder if some people are going to like really bang me on that one.
Another thing to go along with that is depends, because every time I see a biscuit, there's not much, like I need a big, this is bad. I need a two-hander sandwich.
Yes, yeah.
And a bagel, I can get a two-hander on there. A biscuit, like it's weird, like, are you going? It's fuck, and
it just doesn't maintain its structural integrity.
It's not big enough.
And the bigger they make, the harder they are to stay together.
Yeah.
So it's a knife and fork type thing.
I'm fully with you on that. But a sausage biscuits, fuck me sideways.
Yeah, or even like a fried chicken biscuit from like you used to get like them from Chick-fil-A thing. They're okay because they're small and manageable. But I'm talking about a sandwich, a fucking sandwich, and I'm just not there yet.
Yep.
Favorite beverage, hot or cold? And this isn't one of those ones where I'm saying, hey, listen, you can only drink this for the rest of your life. This is one of those ones where I'm saying it's going to be removed for the rest of your life. What beverage would you be most upset about never seeing again for the rest of your life, hot or cold?
Yeah, this whole episode is going to make me sound like an alcoholic, but I'm going to go beer.
Yeah.
Because it's, like I said earlier, it's my pacing drink. I can't drink vodka for 12 hours. I'll fucking die after hour 4.
Right.
I don't know I need to just heavy pour. A beer I can drink. It's just drinking, watching during a game. You're not going to sit there and drink bourbon during a noon college football game. You're drinking fucking beer.
I think being a guy who just came out of college and who starts working for Barstool and stuff like that, some of your most fondest memories are probably in and around beer. They're not in and around bourbon yet.
No.
Right? They're not in and around, red wine yet or martinis or Manhattans or anything like that. And you're probably aged out to where it's no longer a chocolate milkshake.
No.
Yeah.
And honestly, I rarely drink soda. I'm always water. Like I don't drink anything other than, like when I go to restaurants, it's always water or a cocktail. So like, I'm not a big soda guy, even though it may look like I am. I'm not a big like iced tea. I do fuck with a good Arnold Palmer, I will say.
Why not?
I love that.
You must be a fucking derelict on a golf course.
Yeah.
Do you play?
I do. I'm a social golfer, so I like to go with my boys.
I like when you set that. You set the vibe right away.
I'm not going to shoot a fucking 80. I'm going to shoot 105 and put down, 18 beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 18 beers is what you're saying. It makes golf fucking bearable.
Exactly.
Because I'm telling you right now, if I go out there, what's the purple things that I drink all the time? Fucking, that's how old I got. Transfusions.
Oh, yeah.
If I go out there and I try to do 18 transfusions, forget about it, right? You put me in the back of a pickup truck, especially over it. But I can do, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if I still got it in me, but I'm easily at 10 or 12 beers on a golf 100%. Course. Yeah.
Hole 14, you don't even know where the ball, like you can't even swing at the fucking ball. You just.
Yeah. Do you drink anything hot?
Like coffee, tea, like that?
Yeah. No.
Never been a.
So you're not a coffee guy yet?
No.
Okay.
No. So energy drink, I'll drink an energy drink like a Ghost.
Okay.
But nothing. Never really been a coffee.
You didn't grow up around it where your parents had the first thing in the morning?
Every day. But I just never gotten it.
I think that's a little bit weird. And I'm not saying it weird because it's one of the only things that doesn't really follow. Like I'd expect you to say, Large, I like my eggs runny with a fucking cup of coffee. Like, you know what I mean? And it would have been kind of perfect for you. Let me see what else I'm going to ask you. One form of potato for the rest of your life. Now, think about this because it's the opposite of the drink question. This is one form of potato for the rest of your life. There won't be any other thing available. So if you go with whatever, that's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner type thing.
Yeah.
And potatoes to me are one of my favorite foods in the world. Not just because I'm an Irish guy, but you're the type of guy who's probably had a couple of potatoes.
There's so much you can do with them.
What's your favorite one for the rest of your fucking life? Not your favorite.
See, I can't. This is hard because I love French fries.
Mm-hmm.
Love French fries. But am I going to eat that?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I need something that is what's the fucking word? Variety. It's
universal. You can go anywhere.
So I may be leaning towards a shredded hash brown.
A shredded hash brown. Might I recommend one?
Yeah.
So I gave this way too much thought.
Okay.
Right? Because potatoes have been, my heart gets mashed potatoes pumped through it on the reg. A hot homemade potato chip. I could have a pile of hot, salty, just sliced on a mandolin, soaked in some water, just get some of the starch off, fully dried, thrown into a fucking fryer, crispy right out, heavily salted. I could have that next to a plate of eggs where I'm popping the yolk with a chip. I could have that next to a sandwich, obviously, at lunch. I could have that with soup. I could have that with a fucking steak, cottage fries with some crumbled fucking blue cheese on top of it. So I don't know. I'm not saying that hash brown, I could have a hash brown, a crispy, shredded hash brown next to anything.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's one of those more intriguing questions.
No, potato chip, I mean, it would probably have gone fry and potato chip were probably in the top 3, top 5.
Right.
And then you got to think, and this is mashed potatoes is a great one too.
Cons pick those.
Gravy,
yeah. But can you have mashed potatoes with fucking eggs?
No. See, that's where. And another thing with mashed potatoes, like I think I would get sick of the same texture of that.
Right.
Like I'll never get sick of a hash brown texture. I'll never get sick of a French fry. Never get sick of a potato chip.
Yeah, because one time when they come out of the fryer, I'm hooked on this stuff. I mentioned it the other day. I bought this malt vinegar salt. I love malt vinegar, right? To put on hot potato, hot fries.
Yep.
So now it's like dehydrated malt vinegar and fucking sea salt. And I put that as soon as I fry something, as soon as it comes fried shrimp out of the fryer, and I hit it with that. Fries out of chips out of the fryer.
So it's malt vinegar salt?
Yeah, so it's this powdered. So I should have brought it. I usually travel with it like somebody might travel with fentanyl. Like I carry a small baggie of it and I fucking put it on stuff, which is and I can't wait for one of the guys.
Travel with that?
Yeah. I can't wait for somebody to stop me and be like, "What the fuck is this?" I'd be like, "Oh, you got to try this." You give them a little bump off my fucking hand. But I think it's one of those things where it's life changing, and I could see me doing that with. Like I can make nachos with potato chips. Like, you know what I mean? Like
the more I thought about it, the more, because I love scooping anything. Fucking tuna salad.
Maybe it's a tot then.
I think the chip is a great call. If I would have thought about it more, because you can do so much with that. Like you said, nachos. I love nachos. You can do loaded. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Tim Duncan of Foods, something that is consistently putting up big numbers without being flashy for a very long period of time. I don't want a flash in the pan. I don't want something that's overly expensive and grabs all the headlines. I just want, like, some people are shocked to hear that Tim Duncan was one of the greatest to ever do it because he was never, that big and out front. What's a Tim Duncan of food?
So
that's a tough one too.
I'm going to give you 3.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So I'm going to give you a local one of where I'm from.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you kind of a chain-ish thing, and then I'm going to give you a super broad. So my local, there's a place near my house called Dave's Meat. It's a butcher.
Okay.
They have these beef and cheese sticks, like like a
Slim Jim.
Yes.
Yeah, like
but
Jack
they're
Link's.
thick. They're thick. They're fucking moist, and they're so damn. Every single time I get it, it's the same.
Where is this butcher now?
So this is down. It's in Gibsonia, Allegheny County.
Oh, it's
close to
home.
Home.
Not here in Chicago.
No.
Okay.
Home.
Right.
Near Butler County.
Cool.
Dave's Meats.
Shout out Dave's Meats.
I mean, shout out, dude. And they have the best beef jerky, but I'm going with the beef sticks. My dad would get them every Saturday, a Saturday morning, and I would eat like 15 of them. And it would hit the same every single time. So that's my local, super local niche one.
And by the way, that's a Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Because when you walk into a butcher shop, it's always, hey, we got this, and you want the tomahawk, and you want that, and we're pressing and blah, 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 stuffing sausages and all.
Yeah.
Very rarely, when they have something like that, that's a fucking gem.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one.
And then I'm going to go my chain. It hits every single time. It'll never not, is a McDonald's McDouble.
Okay. McDonald's McDouble is one that
That'll
doesn't
never not hit for me.
And there's very rarely an ad campaign.
No.
Like there are for Big Macs, filet of fishes, McRibs, all those things that get it,
Yep.
Okay. I'll take McDouble.
And then for the super broad, I'm just going to go a fucking, those concession stand cheeseburgers?
Yes,
like
I do know.
At a youth football game, they're wrapped in
tin foil. Yeah.
God, those hit the same every fucking time.
Yeah, they are.
I know I put 2 burgers on there, but it
doesn't matter.
There's a broad, that might be even more, the McDouble might be more broad than the tinfoil concession stand burger. Cheeseburger, the cheese is melted into the tinfoil.
Yeah.
No toppings. I don't put any I just eat it just.
And you wind up doing one of those with your finger through the fucking crinkly tinfoil and stuff like that.
Shit.
And it never disappoints.
Me and you are alike in so many
They're not medium rare. They're kind of gray, right? 100%. They're right
Frozen
from the fucking
patties,
Price Club. They're right in. There's nothing special about them at all. It's not like it's a potato roll. It's not that.
Down a little bit.
And it's. Yeah, they fucking never miss.
I could eat 100 of them.
And they're fucking affordable.
Oh,
I took my kids.
$1.50.
We went to like there was a guy who fought in Rough and Rowdy, El Oso Blanco, the white bear.
Yeah.
Guy's awesome, Cuban dude. And so he's like, come see me. I do this local wrestling circuit. And it was in the basement of a church.
Yep.
And they set up the thing, and there was a dude in the corner, red Solo cups, tapping, totally illegal, right? You don't have a fucking, tapping beers, $2 piece, just for beers, couple of dogs on the fucking roller to nowhere, and just burgers that they were grilling outside and putting in there, and send me back, take me back. What's a food you wish you can get back? I ask this about everybody, something that either you're never going to get back because it doesn't exist anymore, or you're never going to get back because you've changed and it won't mean what it used to mean to you, or if it's just something that's purely nostalgic.
The nostalgic part gets me, and it's going to be my elementary school, because we were talking about it earlier.
Yes.
There's the school things.
The school lunches. It's what Patty said right off the bat.
I think I'm going to go with the rectangular pizzas on Fridays. We'd all wear our football jerseys, and we would just feast on this rectangular pizza, and I'd think about it all week.
Right.
And it's like, that got me through the week, is these rectangular pizzas that I'd get yelled at for getting 3 of them.
Yeah.
The lunch ladies would say, no, that's enough. That's enough. All my boys were just, we'd house it. We'd run to the lunch room. We'd run there. We'd house the first round, all go up together, circular table. with the the
so
cafes.
Fridays, everybody on the football team wore their jerseys to school, right? Before Friday Night Lights or whatever.
Yep.
So that in itself is kind of special
it's
too.
All nostalgic.
And then going and getting those Ilios knockoffs, right? There's nothing special about them, right? And you do
ranch,
3 of them.
pour the ranch on top of the pizza.
Right on top of them. All right, this is going to be the final thing that I'm going to ask you right now, and I'm going to get you out of here. I'm not sure what you'd be on death row for. I can't think about it. Well, you know what? I didn't do a history fact. I'm going to do a quick history fact because I'm going to ask Mike Katic what I'm going to keep calling you Katic.
That's all right.
Mike Katic's death row meal is. And while I give him a couple of seconds to think about it, I'll throw you a quick history tidbit that I don't think many people know of. But in Japan, this has nothing to do with food. It has something to do with this question. In Japan, you know what's different about their death row? You don't know you're being put to death until that morning. So every night, you go to bed. Like here in the United States, there's such a drawn out process, and perhaps the process is perfect. I don't give a fuck how you feel about. I'm just telling you how it is in Japan. In Japan, you get the knock, and it'd be like, today's your day. You're going at noon. The only person that can be there, I believe, is a priest. They don't even allow your lawyer there, and they only execute by hanging. So that to me is terrifying.
Way worse.
Never like that going to bed every night. We talk about the Sunday scaries all the time. Having the Sunday scaries
every day
with the end of your life. So now take that into consideration. You're not on death row in Japan. I had to jump in a little bit of history to you, but you're about to be put to death. You can have anything you want. Anything you want. Some guy ordered the tour of Italy from Olive Garden the other day, and I argued that I don't know if Indiana, the great state of Indiana, which just put somebody to death, the guy had ordered the Olive Garden meal. I don't know if Olive Garden can use that.
No.
Food to die for because this scumbag killed a cop, right? So you can't do it because of that. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he was chosen to be in the inauguration dinner or the master's dinner. Some scumbag fucking wanted like some chicken parm, so you can't use it. So without further ado, Mike Katic, former offensive lineman on the 6-year plan at the University of Indiana and now a proud employee of Barstool Sports. What is your death row meal?
Okay, and I'm thinking about this like I'm not getting full at all. I'm going to have the same appetite.
Yes.
Okay. So appetizers.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to start out. They're all going to come out at the same time. There's not one before the other. So I'm going mussels with like a lemony, creamy sauce that I can dip and.
So whole mussels steamed open in some sort of white wine, lemon, and cream, and you're using the shell itself as a spoon as well as whole deal with some crusty bread, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I fucks with that.
With some bread, oil, and vinegar.
Okay.
Then
bread, oil, and vinegar.
Or balsamic.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't going to get mad because sometimes Italian places put olive oil on there. I always dummy it up with a little bit of salt and pepper, some crushed red pepper, and if there's fucking balsamic around, so I'm 100%
that's like
simpatico.
a little side. That's like cleanse the palate. Then, like I said, the peel and eat shrimp, 10 pounds peel and eat shrimp.
You love peel and eat shrimp?
Holy shit.
You've swallowed more mercury than a fucking queen roadie, right? Yeah, clip that. Go ahead.
The peel and eat shrimp, man. And then I'm going to go loaded fries.
Loaded fries. So we're looking what? Bacon?
Cheese, bacon, ranch all over top. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
You
a heat
steak
guy?
Fries. I want the steak, the thick.
Oh, you want a big fry?
It's a big fry.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go fried pickles with a chipotle ranch.
Right. This is a ranch heavy meal. I like it. I got no problems with it.
I'm a huge appetizer guy.
Yeah.
I love appetizers.
Mazzetti spicy ranch. I can
calamari.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do some fried, some grilled calamari. I'm going to do
for the waistline.
Yeah.
Got a little in there.
I'm not going to give a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll move into the entrees. I don't even know how many pounds of crab legs, crab legs, butter sauce. Then I'm going to go some sort of, it has to have a type of steak, probably a ribeye.
How do you take your steak? Medium rare. Okay.
Actually, depending on the place. If I'm at a really nice restaurant, medium rare. If I'm at like a Texas Roadhouse, something medium. I'll go medium. Steak with a loaded baked potato.
Even though you just had the loaded fries.
Yes.
Why not?
Brussels sprouts with
bacon.
Pancetta.
Oh, pancetta.
Parmesan. and balsamic vinegar or balsamic glaze.
A little glaze, yeah.
My mom makes the best Brussels sprouts with that.
Shout out, Miss Katic.
Yeah, I'm just saying so many things. My dad's stuffing balls that he makes on Thanksgiving with his gravy. And
does your mom enjoy your dad's stuffing balls? Say that.
Balls.
Say that.
All balls.
So it's fucking
huge ball. I'm talking this big stuffing ball.
Rolled in a little bit of breadcrumb and then deep fried?
No, so he uses he slices up white bread. Slices white bread up. We'll put sausage, celery, a whole bunch of shit in this huge fucking ball.
Okay.
And he'll shove them into the fucking oven, cook them. You put gravy, you slice in half gravy. Unbelievable.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't know what that is.
I haven't met any other family that they do stuffing balls. My dad's like,
is it the size of a baseball?
Softball.
Wow.
So because we always play, I'm getting off on a tangent.
I don't give a fuck.
We always play Purdue after Thanksgiving. So it's our big rivalry game. And they all will come up and bring me
West Lafayette.
Fucking disgusting. He'll bring up 4 stuffing balls because they'll come to the hotel the night before and I'll go up into my hotel room and just chow down on these
really
balls. Yeah. Every time before we played Purdue. Okay, stuffing balls, and then I'm going.
This is.
Dude, then I'm gonna go. I love seafood so much. Then I'm gonna go a full, huge seafood Alfredo.
Okay.
Clams, mussels, shrimp, scallops.
A fruit de mar, but you're gonna go Alfredo. You're gonna have a heavy cream sauce on top, and on top fettuccine.
Yeah,
I got it. Fettuccine rather.
And then I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna go like a like those local Chinese, like not the hole in the wall, but like you call and they say, yeah, ready in 10 minutes.
Yep.
I want those. I want General Tso's with fried rice. What I know I'm missing a whole bunch of shit.
I can tell you what, I was trying to get him
obviously.
I was trying to get him out of here in less than an hour. I could be here forever. It doesn't matter. Dude, I'm in Chicago for whatever.
I'm having such a great time.
But when I ask people this, some people like Stu Feiner was like, I start off with an 8-ball. I'm like, Stu, nobody eats on it. I do. And then I smoke a weed. And smoke a weed. Smoke a little bit of weed, the whole deal. He gave me what I thought was the kitchen sink. This is the most detailed or broader. You're nowhere near fucking being done. You can't serve this one in a phone booth. You don't have enough room in your fucking cell. So go ahead. So hold on. So we're going now. We had the fried calamari, grilled calamari, peel and eat shrimp, and you want 5 pounds of that shit.
At least.
Right? You're going to have a ribeye done, depending on where we get it from. It's probably going to get medium because you're going to be in jail.
Yeah.
Loaded baked potato, loaded fries. Then you're going to have Brussels sprouts with the sick vendetta to get that pancetta on top of them, and a balsamic glaze. I don't know what you fucking started because it seems so long. Oh, you had the mussels in the cream sauce.
Yeah.
And now we're doing gigantic sausage balls with gravy going into a seafood fettuccine Alfredo, and you say you're not done yet. Yeah.
Pierogies, sweated onions.
Oh, pierogies, you got to go back.
And then I'm going sushi, huge tempura, like the shrimp tempura rolls with the fucking eel sauce, spicy mayo, little crumbs on top. Going that, and then I'm going like a good pepperoni bar pizza, well done,
right,
with the cups of pepperoni.
Yeah.
Ranch,
right?
Parmesan, red pepper flake,
right?
Fuck, what are some other? I haven't even got to the McDonald's. Am I drunk? I'm drunk.
You're obviously you're drunk, right? Because you started off with a couple of bourbons, a couple of beers,
beer and bourbon, old fashioned Manhattans, and then I'm going.
I get the feeling that if I got up and left. And came back 10 minutes later, you would still be going.
Be done.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying all this as like I'm never satisfied. Like I'm keep eating. Like I can eat the next thing.
I respect you.
McDonald's. This is my usual drunk McDonald's order. 2 McDoubles, a McChicken, 20-piece nugget, large fry. That's my go-to.
2 McDoubles, a McChicken,
20-piece nugget, large fry. That's my go-to drunk order.
Okay.
So I'll do that next. And then I'll do a bag of Doritos, nacho cheese.
Classic.
And then I think I might be ready to move to dessert.
Yeah, let's go dessert. Let's put a bow on this with some dessert.
A whole original New York cheesecake.
Oh, from Junior's. Let's get you one from Junior's.
Please.
Old school cream cheesecake with
Thick.
a big graham cracker crust underneath it and stuff like that.
Maybe even half graham cracker, half Oreo crust.
Oh, there we go. And a big dollop of schlag. You know, that old hand fucking mixed whipped cream like you get at Peter Luger's and stuff like that? Yeah. Don't fucking grit your teeth to me, you motherfucker.
Sorry.
All right. So this is Mike Katic. This is, you got to try this. It's very, like, so now I feel like don't you feel like you know me now?
I think we're like,
I feel like I'm a friend with Mike Katic now. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's one of the easiest ways to get to know people, particularly people that you work with who I otherwise would not have met.
Yeah.
Like there's a good chance that we don't run across each other except on a random type thing.
Yeah.
But then you get somebody who sits down. Like, honestly, I got fucking places to be. It took him 19 minutes to give me his death row meal. I appreciate your time, Mike.
Thank you.
So as you get more involved with like regular content here, if there's anything you ever want to push or anything that you ever want to promote, you're more than welcome to come back. That's obviously an open invitation because I don't think you're done with the death row order. Leave, like, and subscribe, do all that kind of shit. And like we did at the beginning of the podcast, we get a lot of them now, which I'm happy. You can double team me with the wife, which was the first time. I really appreciate that. Leave a 5-star review and a question and we'll get to them. And as always, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week on You Got to Try This.